Hey, this is Ed from Noise Toys. How's it going? This is a demo of the Klee Sequencer. Cool, so that was a little jam. What is the difference between a Klee and a normal sequencer? So the key thing is this is bit shift register, which means that as opposed to a normal one which can only have one step active at a time, this one can have more than one. These are the bits along the top here. The orange lights show you which ones are active at the moment, and the interesting thing is that if you've got more than one bit active, the slider values of those that are active at the moment all get added together, so you get a new value. So that's where you can start to get some interesting new patterns that you might not be thinking of originally. So you kind of work alongside it. You sort of work with the Klee rather than programming it. You sort of give it a general idea with the faders, and then it seems to take a bit of a life of its own on, and you can really, just like in that little jam, you can really play with it, and it's totally musical. Let's have a look at how it works. I'm going to set it in a normal 16-step mode quickly now, so I'm going to turn all these off except the first one, and I'm going to press load. Boom. So that's loaded the first bit, and if I just start my gate signal again, you can see it runs through just like a normal 16-step sequencer. And the interesting thing is that these slider values, their range, or the interval that they do, is changeable. So whereas on a normal sequencer it's a set range, and you have to be kind of sometimes a little bit careful to get it dead in tune, this one, the interval can be changed with this control in the middle, and it has a few different settings: major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, minor sixth, 1 octave, 2 octaves, 4 octaves, and variable. This is what I mean. I'll set it to 1 octave. I'll just reload bit 1. I'm going to turn the VCA up on the synth that you're hearing is the TTSH UP 2600 clone. Cool. So you can hear there's an octave resolution there. Let's load 2 bits up. Let's choose number 6. Press load. If I bring the first one up and bring this one up, you can hear we get a second octave in there because they're being added together. So that's quite interesting, especially when you think that you can have, let's have maybe 3. I'm not using a voltage quantizer, this is just raw signal coming out. So it's already quite musical. If you use a quantizer, obviously that can help you, particularly in live situations, get it really dead on so there's no weird pitches sneaking in there. Let's turn the clock back on again and have a listen. And you can play around with the interval there in real time as well. Variable gives you that's quite nice to play around with as well. Cool. So let's have a look at some more of the functions. So as I said, it can run as a normal 16-step, typical 16-step sequencer. That's when it's set to 16 times 1. There's also a mode where you can go 8 times 2, which splits it in half, and you get an A side and a B side. Each side has its own CV output, which is useful if you wanted to run CV outs from both A and B going to individual oscillators. Of course, then you can get 2 pitches at the same time, so a little bit more polyphony, a bit more harmony. So A and B outs, and there's also A plus B out, so that gives you the voltage ranges across all 16. For each one of those outs, there's a secondary output, which is the glide, so you can dial in a little bit of glide if you want to in there. Here is a switch that changes it from pattern mode to random. That's quite fun. Let's just have a listen to that. Turn the clock back on. And let's turn it back to octaves. Jump over to random mode. You can hear it gradually fills them all up. Let's jump back to pattern. The load button, it has a manual press, but I find that it's actually really difficult to get that dead on. So what I've got is coming in here is another gate input going into the load input, and I'm just sending a pulse out at the beginning of every 2 bars, and that works quite nicely. It reloads the bits every 2 bars. That allows you to kind of jam, play around with the switches. And it will load it in perfect timing. That's a really nice function. This side here, we've got the gate in. Then we've got 3 gate bus outputs. Rather than just having 1 gate out, there are actually 3 buses for the gates. These are the switches for the gates. They're 3-position toggle switches, so it allows you to choose 1, 2, or 3. And again, you can send it to different, trigger different envelopes, or you can also use it to trigger maybe percussion sounds as well. It has 2 outputs. One is a gate out, which is an output where the gate is high for as long as the step is active. The other one is a trigger out, which you can use to trigger a percussive sound or something like that. That's a really, really short pulse. Going to finish up with just another little jam. Let's turn the Volca beats back on, give us some drums, and let's start off simple. Let's turn all the bits off. I'm going to bring all the sliders down maybe as well. And let's go. Cool, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, I'll put another one and another video about the Klee up, and we'll go through some of these other functions. So stay tuned. Thank you very much. Bye.